The world teaches us how to be a man, but my daughters teach me how to be a human. Growing up, I was blessed with two parents who deeply loved me. Married for 37 years, and my dad was always steady, was always present, was always consistent. He never needed long talks, he never needed big speeches or lectures. He gave me examples for the roadmap to become a father. From his version and his point of view, I am the Steve 2.0. But my journey into fatherhood wasn't the traditional route. I stepped into a little girl's life when she was 3 years old. Her name was Skylar. The crazy part was I actually met her when she was 1. Later on, I began dating her mother, and me and her became magnets. She challenged me, she pushed me, she tested me, but in that process, it made us grow together. So her biological father didn't know how to connect with her, didn't know how to control his emotions, and burned a lot of bridges where she needed him the most. So when he drifted away, I stepped up and kept on showing up. And to this day, she still calls me dad. And to me, that remains one of the greatest gifts of my life so far. Then came little Miss Elliott. Elliott is a true mirror of my heart. She's full of love, she's full of jokes, she's full of softness, and she's full of kindness. Her teachers often pull me aside to tell me this, to tell me how caring she is, how thoughtful she is, and every time it fills me with pride. Knowing that even being within 2 different households, that she chooses to be gentle, to love, and to be good. And being a girl dad, it taught me one truth, that they are always watching. How I handle pressure, how I treat people, how I act in certain situations through frustrations, how I handle my emotions, and how I bounce back if I screw up. They don't see perfection from me, but they see the effort. They see how consistent I continuously show up. Every day I show up to be the man who's steady, resilient, and present. The second hardest lesson I had to learn was co-parenting. Like I said, the 2 separate households, 2 sets of rules, but one shared mission. The way that I see it is like we're a basketball team, and the prize and the championship is our girls' success. To win, you support each other, you communicate, you adjust, you're flexible, but you also remember the goal in mind. So when it comes to co-parenting, when it becomes a competition, the only people that lose are the kids. When it becomes a team effort, everybody wins. And so preparing my daughters for life and when it is honestly one of the biggest responsibilities in my life, and I take pride in that. Love from me to them is unconditional. But understanding life is not the same way. I teach them to show up, to speak up, and take responsibility, but to understand that there's a clear difference of how they feel and how they choose to act. Because understanding those feelings are real, but they aren't always right. And I know you guys can understand this as well. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, and honestly, I don't want to go to work. Sometimes I wake up and don't really want to be super nice, but I choose to continuously show up in my job, continuously show up to be nice to people. That's a power of choice. So I want them to know that they have the same power. Another value and another obstacle I have to go through as a father is the battle for their attention. The technology that comes into their lives at a young age, it's always taking them away from the present moment. So I try to remind them, let's put our phones down and remember what we're doing, what we're building. We're building memories. We're building face-to-face, heart-to-heart, and building those memories that last forever for me and my kids. But I'll give you a final lesson. And this is what honestly changed my perspective on how to be a father when my kids are older. So my kids are now 12 and 7. But when they become older, they're going to be looking for partners. And obviously, hopefully they can wait till they're 65 to date, and I don't have to worry about it. But we all know that's not the truth. I met a gentleman at a coffee shop, sat down for coffee, and we just talked. And he said the greatest thing that happened to his life, he was around 22 years old, and he met a girl, and he was dating her, and her father was a pastor. And what he said was, he took him out for coffee every single week. That father didn't have to do that. What that father did was he poured, he invested, he supported, and he loved on the kid, the young child that was potentially going to be a partner for his daughter. And he said this one thing, and I want to share this with you. A father doesn't just raise his daughters. A father invests in the man she will one day choose. That to me is powerful. That one hit me really hard. Because one day, decades and decades from now, my daughters will bring home someone they love, and instead of judging them, and instead of pushing them away, I want to pour into them, encourage him, guide him, and invest into the man who will shape my daughter's world. To me, that's one of the greatest investments I could ever make. And I'll close with this. Being a girl dad has been one of the biggest blessings of my life. But showing up every day, loving them, guiding them, and growing with them has been the greatest reward I'll ever experience. Thank you.